Okay, can you state your name and the time and date?
My name is Brandon Harris. It's January what 13th. I just don't know what time it is. I think it's like 4 o'clock.
So you're the CEO of Hairseca,
Hmm.
and then you're also CEO of Rosewood VR,
Hmm.
and then you're the vice president and chair of LA Shift.
Yeah.
So I would consider you a social entrepreneur, like out here trying to make people's lives easier.
Yeah.
So that's really some awesome things that you're
Facts.
doing. So want to get into Hair Sector for a second.
Hmm.
Like, how are you moving through that? Or
Um,
just give me a little insight about it.
I mean, with Hairsec, it's overall a technology company, and so our goal is to create a series of physical and digital products that overall, like shape the future. So we have like traditional things like mobile apps, websites that we can do, and then outside of that, we have like we're working on physical products. I want to talk more about them, but it's not just like at that point yet.
Yeah,
So
real exclusive. It's okay.
yeah,
It's okay.
yeah,
It's okay. We'll move on because that's not really the focal point of our interview today. But I definitely want to just highlight it just a little bit.
for sure.
But we can go into Rosewood. What are you doing with that?
So Rosewoods BR overall entertainment company. We got artists that we just kind of like we're gonna be promoting and pushing. His name's Josiah Shiloh. He makes really like human music, very like calming, relatable. It just overall feels good. From there, we're continuing the efforts with creating content for the community. So we're like started a community creative project. Outside of that, we're doing shows, poetry events, and helping artists with like just any creative assistance that they need. I'm actually gonna do a music video right after this.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about LA Shift.
Okay, so cool. LA Shift is overall like LA Shift is how I view like community. So I think that for me, it's a space where members of the community come together. We discuss and we see what it is that we want to see change in the community, and then collectively we put resources, time, effort, energy, thought towards getting that accomplished.
Okay, so I really love how you explained that because when I went to Rosewood's
Hmm.
Instagram and I went to LA Shift's Instagram, I kind of see like the similarities,
Hmm.
but in a way I see like how like the artists and like the creatives have a space to serve their community.
Hmm.
Like I like how you're dedicating a space for creatives to serve their community.
Hmm.
If you're getting what I'm saying. And so where did that come from? Like where did that drive to create organization like that come from?
Um, I don't know. I think it's just you just do it. Like you see a need and then you feel it. I feel like that's like how I view any situation. If you're in a situation and you say, "Oh, that needs to be done," in that moment you're recognizing that something needs to be done. So then you should do that thing. So in each space that I'm in, whenever there's a moment where I'm looking around and I'm observing and I see that, this is a need like for our community, we need a space where we can come together. We need like some type of system where we're each like, contributing, helping this overall thing. We need to be able to play our part. We need to be able to grow. And then from there, I feel like a whole plethora of like ideas, opportunities, and just overall tasks come up, and then you just start doing them.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I've seen like the opportunity, although unfortunate opportunity. I've seen how you use the death of like Takeoff to really you kind of tied like Rosewood and LA shit together. Like you have you have a business,
Hmm.
but you're using that business to empower our youth and to let them know like to I guess to make them aware of like gun violence and
Yeah.
to tell them like this is not okay. Like put it in front of their faces in a way.
Because this is like, and I'm so happy that you finally like someone
Yeah.
finally asked about this, right? So when you think about it, um, right now. we wear clothes, and in that moment, like every time you go somewhere, you're interacting with someone, you're overall going to be like, you're just going to be seeing that thing. It's going to bring attention. It's going to bring conversation. So at that point, when we have kids and they overall go in places they want to wear, graphic tees, at that point they're going to be seeing like stop the violence. They're going to be seeing it, and then there's a whole campaign, right? So we do every month. We're doing a actual physical program where you get creative life skills. You get creative and life skills, so you get two workshops, and there's an overall concert at the end, like with artists, kind of promoting stopping the violence and just, alternative forms of music. So then at that point, I want to just draw like a full circle. So we have the clothes, which help fund those programs, right? So then at that point, we're now teaching them and helping them understand the effect that gun violence has had on the community. Because when you look really, and it's not funny, but when you look really at all the number of like hip hop, like major hip hop leaders, prominent like artists, they've died due to gun violence. So at that point, it's a clear sign that like this is not good for our community, our culture, anyone. So using the teas to help promote that, and also giving the kids something, because each time someone buys one tea, the kid gets a tea, and then at that point the proceeds go to LA Shift, which overall then funds the program to help continuing expressing stopping the violence. um yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's truly amazing. When I
Yeah.
seen that, I was like, I have to bring this up in the
Yeah.
interview because there's a lot of efforts going around in Baton Rouge area, and just over the like in the country,
Mm.
just motivating teens. Well, I'm not gonna say teens because teens are not the primary
Yeah.
group doing the violence,
Yeah.
but it's just a huge effort trying to encourage peace and
Yeah.
like nobody wants to bury their son, their daughter, or their dad, their uncle. Nobody wants to go through that. So I love that message. I love how you're tying your business to your nonprofit. I love how you just funneling that and just giving back to the community overall through
Yeah.
all of your platforms.
Yeah.
And so I know you said you don't know where that comes from, but I feel like you do. Like, was there any experiences in your life where you felt like you may have needed that type of influence?
Um, so definitely growing up, I didn't have, like everyone, from a single, or at least not everyone. I am from a single parent household. My mom raised me and my brother. You know what I'm saying? At that point, we had family that we would sometimes go and spend time with, but for the majority of my life, the person that I depended on has been my mom. So at that point, what probably around like 18, we just didn't get see eye to eye, and then at that point I was living on my with my roommate, Ralph. Shout out to Ralph. And yeah, from there I just been grinding since. But as a result, you know there are certain things that I was doing and experiencing that I wish would have been easier. So it's kind of like providing that opportunity and support for another, because at certain points in my life, people have made opportunities for me. So I think about like the CXC lab at LSU, when I would like go and like they have buku equipment, so I was able to learn. I was able to just further my exposure, which then increased my skill level and skill set. So at that point, just realizing that by giving kids the opportunity to be exposed to more career paths, more options, just more knowledge in general, at that point you increase their potential. And I feel like that's really cool.
Yeah.
So
Oh
yeah.
man, that's so great. So you threw me off my questions. That was good there. But when you say you found your purpose,
Oh yeah, I know what my purpose is.
okay,
Like
tell us what
I
is
said
it?
with God one time, and it was like my purpose is to create, connect, and inspire. And I was like,
One more time. We didn't catch that though.
create, connect, and inspire.
Create, connect, and inspire.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's good.
yeah,
That's good. mentioned God, how big has God played in your success?
All right. I remember I was in like what, sixth grade. We had to do a presentation on like our father, and so I don't know my dad. So I did this whole presentation on how God was my father, you know, and it was lit, you know. Like when I sit back and I think about it, I'm like, dang, I was, you know, what I'm saying I was straight. I was like, look, you know, what I'm saying I'm talking about had a whole cross with the purple scarf on it and everything.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
that's so amazing.
yeah. So you know, I don't know. I feel like that's the relationship. Yeah,
God really is dope, though. I'm
yeah.
not even gonna cap. He said, that's my father. He's my daddy. Oh, that's funny. Oh man. Oh man. You kind of really touched almost not all my questions, but
yeah.
most of them. I feel like you brought like a lot of good perspective in regards to just one providing opportunities for youth and young adults that may not have those type of opportunities.
Yeah.
We touched on you creating spaces for creatives. I'm not sure if it's just black creatives, but creatives. How important is that aspect?
I think it's very important because like how do you say it? All right, the whole reason for like certain things, like so, if my purpose is to create,
Mm-hmm.
you know, at that point, connect and inspire, it's like, how could I not want to see other people be able to do the same?
If you could tell a person who is trying to become an entrepreneur, I guess your greatest lesson, what would it be?
All right, so this right here, this some hot shit. If you're trying to get, you have two points, right? Here and here. We're gonna make it look like some feet, right? All right. So how would you get from here to here?
You asking?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
I would walk. What you mean?
All right, so you will walk. What does like walking like consist of?
A little, some cracks, some stepping on some cracks.
Yeah, but what's the motion? Like what's the action of it? You're taking what?
Oh, steps.
All right, so you're taking steps.
I was about to say kinetic
No, no,
energy.
but I like where your head is at. I like where your head is at. But each time you take a step, right, that's you getting that much closer to your goal.
Yeah.
So at that point, every day, whenever you take a step, that's you getting that much closer to your goal.
Mm-hmm.
So how all you have to do is see how many steps it takes you to get to your goal, and then just take them steps.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so we kind of made it to like the 15-minute mark, and I think that's pretty good.
Mm.
Um, but any last words for the viewers or anybody that may watch this?
Brandon Paris, Billionaire Perry. You already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with Alexa. You know what I'm saying?
Not
Alexis.
I'm
I'm sorry. I'm here with Alexis. And we lit.